Well, Valentine's Day it is. We want to have a look at our press review this morning, the stories that are covered in the dailies. Of course, Smita and Lorenzo are with me as well. In a short while, we'll review pop culture, the Nairobian and the Pulse, what they have covered today. So the headline in the Standard, records of Uhuru cash transfer, no way. That is in response to, of course, the request that has been made numerous times, and we saw that unfold yesterday at the status conference in the International Criminal Court, where the Attorney General was present and made submissions before the court. We also had from prosecution, the defense, and the representative for the victims. So Kenyatta sees leased as deep-sea fishing tactic by prosecution after other evidence failed. Following yesterday's status conference, judges will rule if Uhuru's case should be dropped. An Attorney General to tell court it isn't Kenya's burden to look for 7 witnesses who dropped out of Ruto case. Read more about what happened at The Hague. Pages 2 and 3 has those details. Also on the front page, mystery of a farm awarded railway tender deepens, and there's a fresh twist which has emerged in the controversial 327 billion shillings railway project, with doubts over which firm the government is dealing with. So MPs yesterday heard that there is a local company registered under the same name as that of China Road and Bridge Corporation, which the government announced it had given the contract to. That other company's name is China Road and Bridge Kenya Limited, which was registered apparently in 2008. More details of that story are on page 4 in the Standard today. So all those reports and the details, read more inside the Standard. Page 6, Wamboi sees red as appeal court nullifies her election. So we heard that was a big breaking story yesterday, and definitely the people there should be heading to a by-election very soon. So many know the Othaya constituency politician Mary Wamboi for an exuberant woman who fights for what she believes in, but she's the one person yesterday or today who will not see joy in celebrating Valentine's Day. When the odds were against her in the last general election, Wamboi fought tooth and nail to floor one of her main opponents who had the backing of former President Mwai Kibaki. So this will definitely shape up to be a race to watch in coming days. Page 7, ODM polls candidates. ODM candidates focus on swing votes, those votes that will make the determination that will count in the final end come the elections on February the 28th. So aspirants have aligned themselves to 2 main rival camps to win over delegates from certain regions. That story says, and Wambora will know his fate today is a story that's covered for you on page 8. A Senate team is set to table report, and only 47 senators will vote to either save or send home the duo, that is the governor and his deputy. So that a story will also be keeping eyes on and bring you all the updates as and when they do take place. Fever pitch in the back page of the Standard today. AFC spoiled for fight in Addis, that is Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Leopards Trophy hunt boosted with return of crucial players. So FC Leopard striker Alan Wanga has warned the team against premature celebrations ahead of their return CAF Confederations Cup match against Defence of Ethiopia on Sunday. Also inside the fever pitch, Liverpool beat Fulham, Arsenal draw against Man United. Page 78, and Chariot and Kibet excel against Italian rivals in ITF Junior Tennis Tournament. The extra pullout in today's Standard, project delay is the headline. Massive power project held back by logistical bottlenecks. Read about that inside Extra, free of charge in the Standard. The dramatic picture story, there is one dramatic pictorial that tells you a story on page 5, and an end to SACCO challenges. Find out more inside there as well. And advantages of rabbit meat. Why should you all be eating rabbit meat? And discussing the Lovers' Day, which is today, Valentine's Day. There's a whole discussion on page 12 of the Extra. Daily Nation today talks about the Kenya accuses US of plot to topple Jubilee. That's their headline. Top security agency says it has credible intelligence on funding of anti-government protest. and U.S. Embassy describes the allegations as false. They're saying the relations are as strong as ever, and no such thing indeed contains or carries any truth. Page 8 has more details of that. So 2013, that's the year Mr. Johnny Carson, top U.S. Africa official, warned Kenya that choices have consequences. Remember that, in reference to the ICC cases. And consistent plans to destabilize the current government will not be tolerated. Those are the words of Francis Kimemia, who's chair of the NSAC. Also, on the front page of the Daily Nation, court nullifies Wamboi's poll win in Othaya. We've seen that, and it's also covered here. And Uhuru not to blame for Bensouda's woes. That's what the Attorney General is saying, in that the International Criminal Court yesterday, when we saw the status conference, each party, of course, sought to paint the prosecution as one who was trying to make a case in the dying minutes, which they termed dying minutes of Uhuru Kenyatta's case, the president, in as far as what still stands and could be used to prosecute. Fast titanium cargo exported is a story on page 2 in The Nation today. A mining firm to earn about 320 million shillings from fast consignment, but deal on royalties yet to be revealed. So the first shipment of titanium yesterday left Kenya's shore at the Mombasa port. Clothes and flowers are the way to your woman's heart. That's what a survey is showing. Valentine's Day feature on page 3. Poll shows other desirable gifts include a trip out of town, a bottle of wine, this perfume, lingerie, and a handbag. So that just some of those things that you should think of buying for your loved one today, or perhaps taking them to that out of town trip. They're a big hit to the women. Page 4, and we did agree it's about the women today. AG is sued after man's arrest at mosque. Attorney General Gideon Muigai and the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo, have been sued in connection with the detention of a man that was arrested after the riots at the Masjid Musa, that's in Mombasa. Also, on that page of The Nation, state could save over $1 trillion shillings in 5 years. So salaries team and experts call on government to address ballooning public wage bill. That is one of those huge concerns for the country right now, and it's up to the SRC to find the best way out of that. And more details, of course, on that. AG fights off Bensouda claims against Uhuru. That's on page 6. And page 8, U.S. agency accused of subversion. What we heard, Kenya summons USAID officials over claims it is planning to destabilize the country through protests. And more details are there for you. Now, all civil servants to be vetted afresh is the story on the back page of the Daily Nation. Cabinet also makes elaborate plans to enhance security and equip agencies. So all civil servants are set to be vetted afresh to prove their suitability. The decision to subject public officers to an integrity test was reached yesterday by the Cabinet, as it also laid out elaborate plans to enhance security, equip various agencies with the latest technology to reduce crime and improve the welfare of the military as well as the police force. And then there's the Star newspaper, and the headline, America is destabilizing Kenya, says Kimemia. U.S. Embassy denies funding activists. They say they're not behind those particular protests. And the picture on the front page is that of the revolutionaries. Question is posed. Activist Boniface Mwangi leads Kenya Nikwetu protesters on State House Road yesterday. Other stories on the front page. 2 Kenyans are directors of China Rail Company. It has now emerged that a Kenyan firm has the same name as the firm that won the 447 billion shillings tender for the Mombasa-Nairobi standard gauge railway. And interesting to note, to the different dailies, the numbers, the figures of this particular project keep changing. HP appeals Olive laptop supply tenders. So computer manufacturer Hewlett-Packard yesterday went to the PPOA to file an appeal against the award of the laptops tender to Indian firm Olive. And page 3, ICC cannot impose laws on Kenya. AG is what the Attorney General said yesterday. And Karangi urges Africa armies to manage the region's conflicts as well. Those are some of the stories that are covered there. And on page 4, read about Sonko's testifies, that is Sonko, the Senator Nairobi, testifies in Sinai fire, 25 billion shillings suit. So the Nairobi Senator Mike Sonko yesterday accused Kenya Pipeline Company of negligence over the September 2011 Sinai fire that killed more than 100 people. Let us finally have a look at the People newspaper, and this Friday, the headline in the People: AG tells off Bensouda over Uhuru cash. So Githu's take: in November 2013, the prosecutor stated her position, and I stated mine. She says that she's entitled to the financial records. I said she's not. I suggested that she must receive a court order, but she did not pursue the matter further. Details of that story are on page 4 inside the People today. Also in the People, Court of Appeal nullifies Wamboi election. The details are there. The Othaya MP, Mary Wamboi, yesterday lost that seat in Nyeri. The Court of Appeal nullifying that election. And the appeal had been made by Peter Kingara, so he was the winner in that appeal. Rail tender wars, deepening mystery of two firms, one name in railway project saga. And titanium makes fast shipment. Mineral farm exports 25,300 tons of ilmenite to China. Just some of the stories inside the People. And of course, there's inside pullout in the People, and Matchmakers is there for you. Right, those are the stories that are making headlines in the local dailies today. It is 6:42 a.m. Do grab yourself a copy